Hello students, I am Ashish and today we will discuss about some important application of Euclid division algorithm. Students, in the previous part of this chapter, I have told you Euclid division algorithm and some question based on Euclid division algorithm. Okay, I also told you that with the help of Euclid division algorithm, you can find the HCF of two positive integers. Okay, now in this section we will solve some examples of NCERT and exercise 1.1 also. Okay, so let's move. See, I have written one question. Show that every positive integers is of the form 2q and that every positive odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1 where q is some integer. Okay, I am going to repeat this question again. Show that every positive even integers is of the form 2q and every positive odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1 where q is a some integer. Okay, means every positive even integer can be represented like 2q and every positive odd integer can be represented like 2q plus 1 where q is some integer. Okay, so before start this question, I'm going to tell you how to apply this question. Okay, so whenever you are going to solve this type of question, you must understand how to apply this question. Okay, so before this question you have solved HCF of two numbers with the help of Euclid division algorithm. Now you come to that questions. Okay, so see, every positive integer na, so in this question first we have to assume any positive integers. Okay, because in the previous part also of this chapter I told you Euclid division algorithm is applicable only for positive integers. Okay, so I have assumed that any positive integer, that is n. Okay, it is a positive integers. Okay, now what I will do, I will see the question that in the question even integer is of the form 2q and odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1. So in both section you are seeing 2 na. So what you will do, you will divide this n by 2. Suppose here it is given 3q and 3q plus 1. So you will divide n by 3. But in this question it is given 2q. So this n can be divided by 2. Why we are dividing n by 2? Because we have to apply Euclid division algorithm and this division algorithm comes by the division process. Okay, so first I have assumed n be any positive integer and it is divided by b. Why I have written b? Because in the Euclid axiom I have taken two numbers na, a and b, where a is greater than b and a is divided by b. So you got q and r. Q is a quotient and r is a remainder. Same thing we will apply in this question also. Okay, so see, when n will be divided by 2, you will get some quotient also and some remainder also. So first what you will do, you will write Euclid division algorithm, that is a is equal to bq plus r, where r is greater than or equal to 0 and less than b. Same thing you will do in case of n also. Suppose in place of a I have taken n. So when n is divided by 2, what you will get? You will get any quotient q and you will get any remainder r. Okay, so I am going to apply Euclid algorithm in this process. Okay, now see, when n will be divided by 2, quotient is q and remainder is r. So by Euclid axiom we can write this na, n equal to 2q plus r. Why I have written 2 here? Because in place of b 2 is here, in place of a n is here, and in place of quotient is here, and in place of remainder is here. Now this condition you can see now, r is greater than or equal to 0 and less than b. But in this question, what is b? in this question b is 2, so I have written r is greater than equal to 0 and less than 2. It is clear, students? Now move. So see, by this statement you can say na, because q and r also are integer, so and r is greater than equal to 0 and less than 2. So what you will do, the value of r can be 0 also and the value of r can be 1 also, because you have to take any integer between 0 and 2. You can take 0 but not 2. So between 0 and 2, how many integers are there? 0 and 1, because you have to take 0 also. So the value of r can be 0 and 1. Okay. Now I have written here r equal to 0 and r equal to 1 also. Now see students, what I will do, I will put the value of r in this statement one by one. Okay. Because value of r is 0 also and value of r is 1 also. So first I will put value of r. Okay. Now see, when you will put value of r in this statement, so this statement is n equal to 2q plus r. Now when you will put r equal to 0, you will get n equal to 2q plus 0. Now when you will solve it, you will get n equal to 2q. Okay. Now students see, q is any integer na. Suppose the value of q is 1. When the value of q is 1, then what will be the value of n? So n will be 2. It is clear or not? When you will take, because q is a positive integer na, because we are studying Euclid division algorithm, and whatever symbols we are taking it is always a positive integers. So when you will take q equal to 1, then n will come 2. When you will take q is equal to 2, so n will come 4. When you will take q equal to 3, then n will come 6. So whatever value of q you will put in this statement, you will always get a even number. Even number is the multiple of 2. You all know that even number is divided by 2. And because n equal to 2q, this statement suggests that this is a even number. That's why any even number can be represented in 2q form. Okay, 2q form means multiple of 2. Okay, because whatever value of q you will take, the value of n will always be a even number. When you will take q equal to 5, n will be 10. When you will take q equal to 6, n will be 12. Okay, so whatever value you will take, the value of n will become even. So that's why n is equal to 2q is a even number. Okay, so this value comes when I have put r equal to 0. Now same case I have done when r equal to 1, then n equal to 2q plus r, and when you will put r equal to 1, you will get n is equal to 2q plus 1. Now see children, it is even now. 2q is even because you have already written here even, and even plus odd is always odd. For example, suppose 2 plus 1, how much? 3. 4 plus 1 is also equal to 5. It is also odd. 6 plus 1 is equal to 7 is also odd. Means 2q plus 1 will always be a odd number. Okay, because we all know even plus odd number is always odd. You can check it for any number. For example, 10 plus 1 is always 11, and 11 is an odd number. So that's why any odd number can be represented like 2q plus 1 form. So this is your solution, and after this you can write proved. Okay, so it is very clear. I am going to repeat again. First, what you have to do, you have to take any number, and you can take any number. I have taken n, you can take a, c, d, anyone. And because in the question 2 is there, so that number will be divided by 2. When that number will be divided by 2, there will be quotient, there will be remainder. So by Euclid axiom, I have written this statement, and r will be less than equal to 0 and less than 2. Why less than 2? Because 2 is a divisor, so remainder will always be less than divisor. Okay, after that the value of r is 0 and 1 also. So when you will take r equal to 0, you will get n equal to 2q, and when you will take r equal to 1, you will get n equal to 2q plus 1. this statement will always be even and this statement will always be odd. So that's why any even integers can be represented like 2q and any odd integers can be represented like 2q plus 1. Okay. Now children, exercise 1.1. okay. Why? See, in 1.1 I have explained question number 1 in the previous part. In that part I have told you how to take off the HCF of two positive integer with the help of Euclid division algorithm. Okay, so this is also same. Okay, so question number 1 you can do by seeing the previous part. Sorry, question number 1 you can solve by seeing the previous part. I am going to start from question number 2. Okay, now see this question again. This is the same question as I have explained in the previous question. Okay, the previous question and this question is little bit same. Okay, so see one more time. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5 where q is some integer. I am going to repeat this question again. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form 6q plus 1, 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5 where q is some integer. So same approach you will apply because we have studied only Euclid division algorithm. So this question can also be simplified by Euclid division algorithm. Same method we will do whatever we have did in the previous question. Okay, so see what I have done. I have assumed any positive integer because in Euclid algorithm we have to assume only positive integers. So I have taken n be any positive integers and see, after seeing this question you can see 6 is here, na 6q. So what you will do, you can divide n by 6, same as previous question. In the previous question 2 was there, so we have divided the n by 2. In this question 6 is there, so we will divide n by 6. Now when you will divide n by 6, so n will be our dividend, 6 will be our divisor. It means according to Euclid axiom it will be b and this will be a. Okay, after that when you will divide n by 6 you will get remainder, quotient also and remainder also. So by Euclid division algorithm we can say n is equal to 6q plus r. Are you know now a is equal to bq plus r, where a is dividend, b is divisor. So in place of a, n is here, in place of b, 6 is here, in place of q, q is here, and in place of r, r is here. And r is greater than equal to 0 and less than 6. In the Euclid r is greater than equal to 0 and less than b, na? But here b is what? 6. That's why I have written 6. So this statement can be written as equation number 1. And q and r are quotient and remainder. They both are integers only. Now see children, the value of r is an integer and it is greater than equal to 0 and less than 6. Means between 0 to 6 we have to take the value of r which is integer, and we have to take 0 also. So what will be the value of r? The value of r will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This I told you in the previous part also. Remainder is always less than 1 from divisor. So divisor was 6, so remainder is up to 5 only, from 0 and up to 5. So there are 5 values of what? There are 5 values of r. Now see, this is the equation number 1 na, so I have written equation number 1 is n equal to 6q plus r. Now children, what we will do, we will put the value of r in equation 1 by 1. So when you will put r equal to 0 first, so n will be equal to 6q plus 0, so n will be 6q. Okay, now see students, n is equal to 6q na, this n is the multiple of 6. Now see this 6q, ठीक है. अब देखिए 6 is a even number, and even number is multiplied to any integer. Whenever even number is multiplied to any integer, the whole quantity will always even. You can check it, students. Q, the value of Q is an integer na, and value of Q is a positive integer. So when you will take Q equal to 1, so what you will get? 6. When you will put Q is equal to 2, so what you will get? 12. When you will put Q equal to 3, so what you will get? 18. So whatever value you will put of Q, you will always get a even number. So it means this statement will gives a even number. It is clear? Or one short tricks for you. Whenever you see a integer is multiplied by an even number, the whole quantity is always a even number. Q is an integer, and when Q will multiply to 6, then whole quantity will be a even number. Okay. Now when you will put r equal to 1, you will get n equal to 6q plus 1. Now see, 6q was even na, and even plus odd is always odd. It means 6q plus 1 is a odd number. Okay. Now when r equal to 2, you will get n equal to 6q plus 2. So see, it is even. 6q is even and plus 2 is always even. So even plus even is always even. For example, 2 plus 2, how much? 4. 2 plus 4, sorry, 4 plus 2, 6, it is also even. 6 plus 2, 8, it is also even. Means even number plus even number will always be a even number. Okay, so this will be even. Now when you will put r equal to 3, you will get 6q plus 3, n equal to 6q plus 3, and see, 6q is even and it is odd. So even plus odd is always odd. So it will be odd. This expression will be odd. Now when you will put r equal to 4, n will be equal to 6q plus 4. Now even plus even plus even equal to even. So this will be even number. Now last, r equal to 5, then you will get n equal to 6q plus 5. Now it is even, it is odd. So whole quantity will become odd. So what you are seeing, children, when you will put n equal to 0, sorry, when you have put r equal to 0, you got 6q, that was even. When you put r equal to 1, you get 6q plus 1. It is odd, then even, then odd, then even, then odd. Then out of 6 value of n, see, you got n equal to 6q also, you got n equal to 6q plus 1 also, you got n equal to 6q plus 2 also, you got n equal to 6q plus 3 also, you got n equal to 6q plus 4 also, you got n equal to 6q plus 5 also. So out of these value, this one and this one are only odd. Okay, so that's why any odd number can be represented like 6q plus 1, 6q plus 3, 6q plus 5. It is same as previous question, students. Okay, so just you have to follow the Euclid division algorithm. After Euclid division algorithm, find the value of r. Whatever value you will get of r, put in the equation, and one by one you will get even odd like this. Okay, so this shows that any positive integer can be represented in the form of 6q plus 1, 6q plus 3, 6q plus 5. So I hope you have understood the previous question. Now come to the question number 3. Now see, an army contingent of 616 members is to be marched behind an army band of 32 members in a parade. Okay, the two groups are to be marched in the same number of column. What is the maximum number of column in which they can march? I am repeating the question once again. An army contingent of 616 members is to be marched behind an army band of 32 members in a parade. Means in an army band 32 members are here, and behind that you have to march of 616 members just behind them in a parade, and you have to form two groups in such a way that you get the same number of columns. So what is the maximum number of columns in which they can march? Students, see, whenever you will see this type of question, so first you will get two numbers, and in the last part of the question one thing is written, either maximum or minimum. Whenever in the last part maximum has written, it means that you have to take out the HCF of these two numbers, or whenever in the last part minimum has written, it means you have to find LCM of the given two numbers. So in this question maximum is written, so what you have to do, you have to take out 616 and 32 of HCF, means you have to take out the HCF of these two numbers to get the maximum number of columns in which they can march. So what I have written HCF of 1616 and 32 will give the maximum number of column in which they can march. तो आपको इसका HCF निकालना है. So HCF you know the how to take out the HCF of two numbers, but because we are studying in class 10th Euclid division algorithm, so we will find the HCF of this method only. Okay, so see, out of these two number, this is bigger, so this will be A and this will be B, this will be dividend, this will be divisor. So after that you have to apply Euclid division algorithm. So what I did, I have divided 1616 by 32. So 32, when you will divide this number by 32, it will go one time, so 32 and remainder will be 29, and now 6 is also left. Now remainder is greater than the 32, then you will divide one more time. Listen student, 616 and 32, जब आप इसको इससे डिवाइड करोगे तो 32 1 are 32, so 29 will left, but 6 is also here ना, so remainder is greater than 32, तो आप एक बार और डिवाइड करोगे इसको, तो 296 when we divided by 32, it will go 9 times, so 288 will comes. Now remainder is 8. Now division will not be done. So this is whole is our first step. Okay, so by Euclid division algorithm, this step can be written as 616 is equal to 32 into 19 plus 8. Dividend, it is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, same thing. Now student, what we have done in the Euclid division algorithm, divisor of the first step will become the dividend of the second step, and the remainder of the first step will become the divisor of the second step. Now when 32 will divided by 8, so you will get quotient 4 and remainder 0. So in two step of this question, in the second step remainder becomes 0, so we will stop the division algorithm. Now the divisor of the last step will be the HCF of the given two numbers. It means HCF is 8, so we can say that they can march 8 columns each. Okay, this you have to calculate only. See, whenever you see this type of question that two numbers is given and in the last part of the question maximum or minimum is written, so whenever maximum is written you have to take out HCF, and whenever minimum is written you have to take out LCM. So I think this you have understood. Now of exercise 1.1, two questions are left. So if you understand this algorithm, try to solve as homework, and if you are not able to solve that questions, so I will tell these questions in the next part of the video. So I hope you understand all the concept. So try to figure out all the concepts and problems, and we will continue tomorrow after this problem. Okay, so till then, take care and have a nice day. Thank you.